Dave Lapham, the great number 62, has almost started with the Bengals about 50 years ago in 1974 before Marty Brennaman started. He's got perspective many of us do not. And Dave Lapham, welcome again to the Bill Cunningham Show. Dave, how are you?
Willie, how the heck you doing, my man? It's just a great day for football today. A little humid, a little heat. Boys are gonna be in a lather.
Now, I understand from some that Aaron Donald touched Joe Burrow. Is that accurate? There was a report from Lance McAllister that somehow you're not supposed to touch the quarterback. And do we have to worry about Aaron Donald at practice planting Joe Burrow somewhere?
No, we don't have to worry about that. But I'll tell you, that may be I've seen a lot of genetic marvels in my day covering the National Football League. This guy is amongst the best I've ever seen in that regard. He's in a category as yourself, Willie. I mean, the good Lord bless this guy in so many ways. And the thing is not only is he physically gifted, but he's intelligent. He's got competitive drive. I mean, he's got it all. He takes nothing for granted. He works hard. I mean, he wants to master his craft. He is an unbelievable guy to watch. And after the practice, which I thought he, pretty much dominated, he's coming off the field with a couple of Rams coaches. I'm like, man, 99 is special. They're like, well, he's got another gear. He's playing hard in this workout, but, he's got another gear when the game's on the line. And I guess we saw that in Super Bowl 56 at the end of the football game. This guy is a freakazoid.
Why? Because I think of the great defensive lineman you faced right now, Munoz faced about 20 years ago, right now. What is it about Aaron Donald that makes him, some say, the greatest of all time? Better than Kill Bubba Kill. Better than what makes Aaron Donald so special when the other players seemingly should be as good or better, but he stands out some, like Stephen A. Smith says, he's better than Tom Brady. Now, I haven't thrown too many touchdown passes, but if you're better than Tom Brady, you got to be damn good.
I'm telling you, he impacts and influences a game like very few do. They're in the history of the game. There's no question about it. And he's not a big guy. I mean, that's the thing. You look at him, he looks like a good-sized linebacker, but he doesn't look like your prototypical defensive tackle. I mean, the guy is they list him at 6'1". I'd say he's probably closer to 6 feet tall, and I believe 260. They list him at 260. He's probably high 250s, 260. So he's not a gargantuan guy, but oh my gosh, he's got such first step quickness, explosiveness. His strength for his body type is abnormal. I mean, it looks like he can bench press the world, and he works hard at it. I mean, that's the thing. His foot quickness, he's twitchy. I mean, his foot quickness is incredible. He works with a martial arts jiu-jitsu dude of some sort. But he's working on his hands all the time. His hands are a blur. I mean, he'll strike you 3 times before you even know what happened. He's so explosive and so quick and so twitchy with his feet, his hands, and he's got a tremendous hip snap. When he rolls his hips and snaps his hips, he's bringing some force. He's got balance. He's got power. There's not a box that he doesn't check. And you couple that with the fact that, he's not going to take any plays off. He wants to maximize his skill set every single snap. And I think that's the thing that separates him is he's like the Energizer Bunnyman. He just keeps coming and coming and coming.
Well, what are the issues in summer camp? Because when the biggest issue is the best safety the Bengals have had for many years, at least in the postseason, Bates finally shows up. You got Burrow with the appendectomy, things of that character, and that can be a real issue. That could be bad, but nonetheless, he looks. Are there any issues in this camp? Because you've gone through about 50 camps over the years since 1974. What are the issues in Bengaldom as we get ready for the opening day? Honestly, Saturday doesn't matter. What matters is September the 11th against Pittsburgh. What are the issues in summer camp?
Yeah, I think that everybody's going to be all hands on deck. I mean, God forbid they lose anybody of any significance against the Rams on Saturday, and they won't because they're not going to play anybody. But there are some key backups that will have to take some snaps, and you don't want to lose any of those guys because that's going to be the key to your season. You have to have some roster depth because when you go through a 17-game regular season in the National Football League, there's going to be nicks, bumps, bruises. You just hope you don't lose a significant player for any great length of time. And if you do lose a guy for a couple of weeks, 3 weeks or whatever, that's where your roster depth is critical. So you don't want to lose that on any of that aspect of it on your final preseason game. But I asked Joe Burrow in the press conference that he had before practice yesterday if this were a regular season game on Sunday against the Rams rather than a preseason game on Saturday, could you go? Could you start and play? Yep, I could. Now, would I play as well as I want to? Probably not. I'm glad I have a couple of more weeks here to go through the process of fine-tuning and getting ready. But he lost about 15 pounds to my eye, and I think he's put about 10 of it back on. So he's getting there. His muscle definition and mass are coming back quickly, which you would expect of a highly conditioned athlete at his age. He's got youth on his side and all that sort of thing. He's a quick healer. He's shown that already after prior surgeries. And, he had a serious knee injury, and he came back very, very quickly from that. So, the guy is he's one of those guys that's just mentally and physically tough. Jesse Bates said that he could play if he had to. He could play right away. I could play tomorrow. And you can. I mean, these guys are in great physical shape, but as we know, Willie, there's conditioning and then there's football shape.
Right.
And you have to take some hits. You have to recover from that and get rid of the soreness. And if you had to play a game against the Pittsburgh Steelers with no ramping up and getting ready football-wise and football conditioning to do so, you'd wake up Monday morning with football rigor mortis. I mean, you'd be oil canned to get out of bed, boy. You'd be stiff and sworn.
You know that feeling.
Oh, gosh, man. It's like all the attachments are just, everything. The ligaments, the tendons, everything that attaches to the bone and the muscle, it's just everything's sore. Yeah, it's a different feeling, but it's a good feeling because it's football season.
Yep, and the issue, the flavor of the month in the AFC North is the Baltimore Ravens. If I look at some of these statistics, the Bengals are like 13, 14, or 15 as far as winning the Super Bowl. Last year, they were probably 31 or 32, made a remarkable leap. But you've been there for Detroit, Miami, and Los Angeles, the 3 Super Bowls. Each one, by definition, was so close. Could have gone one way, could have gone the other. Have you replayed in your mind, and we played the call that Dan Horton you had on the last interception near the end of the game. Have you replayed that in your mind and say all the things that might have been in Los Angeles that the Bengals actually would have won a Super Bowl? Have you replayed some of those, the call by the official near the end, the fact that it appeared that there was holding on another call that they do you ever replay that and say what might have been?
Yeah, sure you do. You go over it, over and over and over again in your mind. And the players say, you got to move on. It's in the past. And you do. I mean, now that the best thing is for another season to come upon you, and you have to focus on other things. But in that off season, in the early stages after the Super Bowl, I remember the one that I played in, and every time I laid down, closed my eyes, man, it was like they opened up, and the white ceiling became a movie screen. And there was tape on that screen and plays going over and over and over again. Things that, if I wish I'd done that, or wish we had done this, if we had just done this differently. And you can second, third guess, fourth guess all day and all night, but it came down to just a couple of things. The one thing that comes to mind, to me, is on that very last play when Jamar Chase is wide open and they were going at it again. Two guys that are best at their positions in the entire league, Jalen Ramsey at cornerback and Jamar Chase at wide receiver. That was a stirring battle to watch yesterday. I mean, there were some great players going against each other out there, and that's really, really good to get ready for the regular season. It's almost like their game. Yesterday was a game, and today's going to be another game, back-to-back games for the number ones to work against each other. But he had Ramsey beaten badly, and they had a perfect call, slide protection. Center Trey Hopkins is sliding over there to Quentin Spain, and you can't get beaten outside. Don't let him up the field to your outside shoulder. I'll be a son of a gun. Overset, make him go inside. You have help there. You have Trey Hopkins coming that way, and he let him go up the field to the outside. And Aaron Donald, just bear hug Joe Burrow and sling him around, and Joe had to just try to throw the football, check it down to Samaje Perine. If he had time to look down the field and hit Jamar Chase, the Bengals are wearing Super Bowl rings, not AFC Championship rings right now.
One of the most disgusting things I saw was Aaron Donald at the end of the game holding up his ring finger, pointing to it. And the rings are unbelievable. I'm sure the Bengals would not have rings like that, but nonetheless, the rings are unbelievable. And maybe, do you have hope? Because some have told me, all right, what are the odds of the Bearcats and the Bengals, the Bearcats getting into the Final Four to play Alabama, and what are the odds of the Bengals in the Super Bowl to win at home against the Raiders, to beat Tennessee, to beat Kansas City? What are the odds? And it's over. In fact, we've had the glory. The Bearcats almost won the national title in football. The Bengals almost won the Super Bowl a few weeks apart. Dave Lapham, is it over or has it just begun?
Well, that's to be determined, obviously, but it's hard to run it back. Everybody talks about running it back, and in franchise history, Willie, this football team already set a record by winning a playoff game on the road. That had never happened in franchise history. All the playoff victories that led to Super Bowl appearances in the past had come at home. So they had to go on the road. They had to go the hard way to get there, and they did it. And they had, a couple of road victories. So that distinguishes this Super Bowl appearing team from any other. But the first two Super Bowl teams, Super Bowl 16 and Super Bowl 23, team at Super Bowl 23 didn't even make the playoffs the following year.
Right.
Team I played on Super Bowl 16, we lost in the first round. From Neal and the New York Jets edged us by about 30 points.
Yeah.
So, it's like you certainly can't take anything for granted. And, you have to just wipe the slate clean, realize all the hard work that it took to get there, the luck that it took to get there, everything else that it took to get there, luck in terms of avoiding injury and all of those aspects of it. So easier said than done. But, if all hands are on deck and everything is, there's nothing major from a negative standpoint that occurs, I think they're going to be competing. They're going to be in every football game.
Right.
I think defensively, from what I saw against the Rams, I thought both defenses kind of owned the day in terms of pass rush. Defensive lines were getting edges on offensive linemen very quickly, which isn't unusual in one-on-one pass rush because they're such great players and they have so much room to take advantage of. But during the actual scrimmage session, the Bengals defense, the Rams ran two 2-minute drills at the end of the practice, and the Bengals defense ended each 2-minute drill with an interception.
Great.
And that's a good sign.
Good sign. Good sign in practice. And let's go to the fast break. Are you ready?
Yes.
It is September the 11th. It's 1:05 p.m. in the afternoon. And Dave Lapham's got a choice at the quarterback. Is it Kenny Anderson, Boomer Esiason, or Joe Burrow, all in their prime? September 11th. Which one?
Oh, my goodness. You're talking about two league MVPs and one that has the ability to be the MVP.
Give me the answer.
Willie, I would honestly, I would take any one of those three in their prime because they've shown that they can, in their prime, they could do it. They could do it as well as anybody and take you to the promised land and win MVP in so doing.
I got two or three more. You're not done yet. How about Jamar Chase, Isaac Curtis, or Ocho Cinco? You got to pick one.
Oh, Willie. I mean, they're all tremendous. They're all different, but they're all tremendous in their own way. I mean, that's another tough one to take. Different eras. If Isaac Curtis were playing in today's National Football League, Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy averaged 17 yards a catch for his career back in the ancient days of throwing the football. I mean, it's just they have similar traits, but a lot of different traits as well. I don't know, Willie. Boy, you talk about how about if you had all three of them on the field at the same time? What would the defense do? There'd be a lot of brown stains on pants in the defensive secondary. I can tell you that.
How about the head coach, Paul Brown, Forrest Gregg, Sam Weish, Zach Taylor? Go. Who do you have coach that game?
Oh man, one. I will say, the guy who had the biggest influence in my football career in the early stages, the most important stages, Paul Brown was. I mean, in my mind, looking at that guy was the National Football League. Yeah. But then when I looked at Forrest Gregg, I'm saying
that guy's the national.
The best player he ever coached. He's the best player ever coached, and he's a lineman. I'm listening to that dude. And Zach turned it around. I mean, he turned it around quickly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's all the current coaches and players you're talking about, they're not done writing their careers. I mean, the script's not done yet, Willie. So I think it's hard to compare them to others because the other guys' scripts are done and theirs aren't.
We got 30 seconds remaining. Will the Bengals win the Super Bowl this season? Yay or nay?
Can they win the Super Bowl?
No, will
season?
they? Will they?
Will they? Who knows, Willie? Who knows? I mean, the football gods know.
Yeah,
I wish I was a football god. I know you're a communications god. There's no question about that. You can see the future a hell of a lot better and more clear than myself.
Yes.
What do you think? Yes. They
yes.
will win.
Yes, and the Bearcats will win. Yes, I'm going with the Bengals. I was born a Bengals fan. I live a Bengals fan, and I will die a Bengals fan. Dave Lapham, the great number 62. Let's do it again. But you sounded like a politician there at the end. But nonetheless, once again, thank you for coming on the Bill Cunningham Show, the great 62.
Willie, anytime. You're the best. A distinct pleasure, my man.
God bless America.